All right, Buff Nation, what's going on? Of course, we got some more exciting recruiting news to cover. Yesterday, I did a video on Carday Smith, offensive tackle, currently committed to USC, but big time crystal ball coming from Adam Munsterteiger of Buff Stampede. Crystal balling him to flip to CU. And we saw another one yesterday coming from Adam Munsterteiger. Again, all time. It's only at 158 of these, so doesn't do it very often, but you can see with that all-time accuracy percentage being above 90%. Are you kidding me? When he puts something out, it's in good confidence, right? So we saw Byron Baldwin Jr., four-star safety, most recently committed to Indiana. Get crystal ball to flip to Colorado. He visited here for the Baylor game. We'll run his highlights in just a minute. Y'all be sure to smash that like. Let me know your thoughts on this player in the comments. But this is exciting stuff. We'll get to his highlights here in just a second. Let me go ahead and run it. So you can kind of see, we won't go through all 12 minutes. That'd be a little excessive. 89 tackles, 2 picks, 4 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles in his junior season. And man, you can see what kind of athlete this guy is. That is just a rocket there out of the defensive backfield. I love to see him hitting hard like that in some of these first highlights. But in case you're looking for some more information on Byron Baldwin, I'll read some information regarding him. 4-star player. 24/7 has him as a 90 overall. The composite has him at pretty much a 92. So he, according to the composite, he's the number 5 player in Maryland. He's out of Baltimore, Maryland, playing at St. Francis Academy. Number 19 safety in the entire country. And yeah, scouting report, not much written about him yet, but multi-sport athlete that also wrestles and competes in track and field events. So multi-sport athlete. Love to hear that. You know, Chidoze, a few of those other guys on the line have some wrestling experience, I believe. Pretty cool to see a DB that we have interest in, that has interest in us, also having wrestling experience. You know, that's going to help with the open field tackling. I mean, man, when you're putting up 89 tackles in one season, yeah, I'm sure the wrestling helps with that as well as the track and field, getting as fast as you can. And you know that they're going to be well conditioned, also being a track and field athlete. But I think that this is a complete safety, somebody who's got the range and the speed to defend, can also, as you can see, play a little bit of box linebacker too, which is nice, but can be a big time support in the run game as well. I think that when I'm looking through some of his highlights on here, I can't help but be reminded of the physicality of Shiloh Sanders when I take a look at this. So maybe this is a recruit that we're going after that will kind of fill that type of role, that can play that box safety type of role, help in run support, but also, like I said, has some chops in the coverage game as well. Oh man, I love seeing this guy hit. Oh, see, I'm about it. I'm about it. I love it. This guy plays with a serious attitude, which I love. But of course, was recently committed to the Indiana Hoosiers with Coach Sig. And I mean, Coach Sig, that's an awesome nickname, Sig. But Coach Prime, that's an even better name. So I love the fact that he is going to be hopefully flipping here to the Buffs here at some point. But he's had offers from all over the country. Really good programs. A few that really stick out to me: Virginia Tech, Tennessee. Shall we tell our children about 4-0 Rutgers? Penn State, Pitt, Kentucky, Boston College, and Indiana. So this is a guy that has been wanted by a lot of schools all over the country, and even some really good G5 programs like James Madison and Syracuse also on the radar. As you know, we have a little bit of a connection there now. So, uh, man, I feel like with what we're developing in the secondary, we're gonna be stacked, and hopefully Brandon Baldwin Jr. is part of the DB pipeline that Coach Prime is developing here at CU. And a guy that can make a difference in multiple phases of the game, in coverage, in run, as you've seen on special teams as well. Really exciting athlete. And right now, his size on 24/7, 6'1.5", 190 pounds. So he very well could come in kind of looking very similar to how Carter Stoutmeyer looked his true freshman year last year. Already with that college size, ready to play, and somebody who I think would definitely project as a long-term Power 4 starter at the safety position. So, yeah, I absolutely love this move. Let me go ahead as we're rolling the highlights a little bit, and you guys let me know, are there some other safeties that Brandon Baldwin Jr. reminds you of? Please let me know. I always love those comps, hearing the comps that you guys got to give. But let me pull up my Twitter here really quick, because I believe there was some other news that I did want to share at the end of this video regarding a UCF commit that is now scheduled to visit Colorado. And let me pull up his name here in just a little bit. Man, I love seeing this special teams coverage stuff, because you guys know our coverage units have been so inconsistent, and it would be fantastic to have somebody here that can also contribute in that way. Okay, so Christian Hudson, he is an 89 rated overall defensive lineman by 24/7. He is currently committed to UCF, and he's going to be visiting October 11th. That is when we play Kansas State here in a little less than a week and a half. So he's going to be making his visit. Love to see that. So I'm sure we'll start hearing about more visits. But the Cincinnati game, as Russ pointed out last night, as well as the Kansas State game, we're going to have a ton of visitors in here. So I absolutely love to see the momentum that's developing with what's going on, man. When you start to win some games, when you see the defense start to improve the way that it's improving, I mean, guys are not only on the team are buying in, but I think you're starting to see recruits start to buy in as well. We're getting great momentum, a lot more momentum than we had at this point last year. And that only bodes well for the future for CU Buffs and Coach Prime. No doubt about it. So let me go ahead before I wrap up. Just want to check on if we have any more visits that have been put on here on 24/7. Nope. But do not forget, we already have a handful of guys committed. 8 so far: Chauncey Gooden, Cornell Farrakhan Jr., wide receiver; Alex Graham, corner; Antonio Branch Jr., safety; Mantrez Walker, linebacker; Zane D'Souza, athlete/tight end; Corbin Lejour, tight end; Jay Gardenhire, offensive tackle. And like I said, Chauncey Gooden leading us off interior offensive line. So if we do indeed get Carday Smith and Byron Baldwin Jr. to commit here, that puts our commitment level or hard commits at 10. And I think we got room to increase that quite a bit. So hopefully this turns out the way that Adam Munsterteiger is predicting. I feel absolutely great about it. Credit to Coach Prime, Robert Livingston, the recruiting staff, as well as Coach Mathis for making some noise here when it comes to our secondary pipeline that's developing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will be back with an episode with Colin Moore later tonight at 5 p.m. Mountain, so be sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much, and as always, Go Buffs.